Oh dear. Hey there, welcome to the Lumiere channel. Okay. Welcome to your May 16th and 17th. That's right. I gave something away that I'm not really happy anymore that I gave it away. I don't want it back. It's a sweater. I don't know why I gave it away. What's the guidance for us, please? For the 16th of May and the 17th of May. And for our highest good, please. Thanks. Past life relationship in reverse. And at the top of the deck we have codependency. Whoa, are we gonna take it? Yeah, I guess we'll take it. Let's get some backup. Yeah. No, I don't want this, do I? Guess I do. Let's go crazy. Let's get some backup. Let's get some friends. Let it go. Let it go. Can't hold me back anymore. Let it go. Hey, hey, little rascal. Let it go. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what's going on back here. You're just gonna be like, what's going on? The Page of Wands came up. The Page of Wands is just a little rascal. And the Devil came up also. But we already have the Devil here on the board. Thanks. Yeah. So much heat. So much heat. And the Eight of Swords. And the Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay. Let it go. Let something go. It can't hold you back. It can't hold you back anymore. With past life relationship and codependency and the Seven of Wands, excuse me, with the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Anyway, with this ragtag team, how many times do people watch readings and the reading says, let it go, and it just loses its meaning? You're like, okay, yeah, let it go, but what does it really mean? What am I really letting go of? I feel like you're letting go, because that's what I'm saying here too, but I feel like the nuance here is letting go of what you thought, letting go of the heat, letting go of the chemistry. It's not necessarily, maybe, it could be the previous chemistry we were talking about, but it seems like letting go of what used to be fire, letting go of what used to keep you captive, letting go of what maybe currently keeps you captive. But there's something here to me about like purposely staying captive. Yeah, that's interesting. There's something here about like purposely staying captive, not being ready or willing to really step out of the door, step out of the room, step out of the warm room. Because again, you know, a known hell is more comfortable than an unknown heaven. But I feel like there's a bit of an awareness here where you know that in some way, I suppose, that, and I feel like you are, I feel like you're doing, for some, you're doing the best that you can, you know? People say let it go as if, as, I get it, there's some people who are holding on for dear life, but then there's some people who are actively trying to let it go. And when someone continuously tells you to let it go, to release it, to cleanse it, to move away from it, I think sometimes we forget that people are doing that. There's a former bond you're letting go of. There's something that used to bring the heat, that used to be good, but man, how it used to be 6 months ago, how it used to be in the beginning, how it used to be isn't what it, well, I don't want to say that it isn't what it is right now, but it just may not be hitting it for you anymore. Try as you might, or try as the second party might, whether it's a person, place, thing, experience, it may not be for you anymore. I remember growing up, my brother was like, I'd love to live in the city. We all kind of were, actually. My friends, I went to school in the city, so it was this idea of wanting to live in the city because that's where things were happening, plus it's the freaking city. The city is great. But now, my friend, my brother also are like, I don't really want to live in the city. There's something about growing up. That's what we call it. Something that is still fire. The city is still fire. Like, the city is still fire. The city is still great. There's nothing wrong with the city. It's just your taste buds have changed. And they do that. Like, every, 7 years or something, your taste buds change. Yeah, but there's almost like a willingness to want to continue to identify with that. I see where I'm seeing that. That's cute. Aw, loose. I just gave myself a pat on the back. That's really cute. It's almost like there's a part of you that wants to continue want to be someone who wants to be in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who it's that's a bad example. I knew someone. Wow. Past tense. I knew someone once who he's good looking, I suppose. Yeah, good looking guy. And he had a podcast, and he was talking about something with his co-host, about how a guy, if it's a good-looking guy or a guy you're attracted to, if he says something, it's not creepy. But if it's a guy and he said that looks like us, if we say something like that, then we're looked at as creepy, or whatever. And he was just reflecting on that double standard. And then his co-host was like, what do you mean guys like us? Like, you're like a good-looking guy. And he's like, no, guys like us. And I'm laughing because, I know exactly what he's doing. Exactly what he's doing. He knows he's attractive. He knows he's a good-looking guy. But there's this sort of, this desire, this want to be connected to something else that isn't of you, but in your efforts to want to connect to it, it makes you look good, it makes you feel good about yourself, or it fulfills a certain something, XYZ, insert that something here in your life. So it's similarly if someone's like, oh, big girls like us, and that person is not, and you're just like, what the, no. There's the flip side where someone includes you in a circle that isn't what you identify as, and you're like, excuse me? But this seems like, it feels like, maybe it could be for you. And these dailies have been going interesting. Sometimes some people will feel it on the flip side. So, in any case, the flip side being, let's say someone was to say, oh, guys like us, and you're someone who you actually do not identify as that type of person, and so you're like, record scratch, what? Anyway, what I'm seeing here is guidance to allow yourself to let go of something and possibly give yourself to something new. There could be something there too, this sort of double-edged sword, where if you're wondering whether you just left something and you're about to enter into something quite similar or something that may trigger that in you, you may be afraid of the new thing. I've had that before too, where when I was talking to someone once, what is my life? So I was talking to someone once and I was saying something about making a joke. Oh, I'm addictive. And the person was like, well, I should stop talking to you because I have an addictive personality. Something like that, where if someone has an addictive personality, they may be, if they're self-aware enough to notice that, they may be very careful about what they indulge in and what they do give themselves to. For instance, I have a friend who, being addicted to gambling or addictions maybe in the family are prominent, and so she does not give herself to any sort of gambling because she knows that that is something that a lot of people in her bloodline have fallen prey to. So it seems like there may be something like that here, where someone may be hopping from one, not obsession, but one connection of something to another. And there's a freedom in that, but then there's also this sort of defensiveness. And if there is that defensiveness, you can keep your wits about you and tread gently. I think that's all I'll say on that note. But also there may be a tendency to lose yourself in something. There's like 3 different stories here the more I talk about this. There's something here about an obsession. There's something here about an obsession. That's the common thread. In the first story, it's someone who is weaning themselves from something that had a hold on them, but they are still purposefully holding on a little bit. They know they're moving away, but they still are holding on to a tie that they have to something that captured them, something that used to be, or something that was. It could be something that is still, but something that is no longer what is used to be. Okay. And then there's a second story of someone who is going from one obsession or one delight, former delight, and moving into another delight. But they're maybe a little bit afraid, knowing full well that they just left a delight, and worry is on their mind with the new delight. And then there's a third story. What was the third story again? I forgot. Which I think may have been a branch of the second story, where don't remember the third story. I'm sorry. Perhaps you can rewind it. But yeah, there's something here about obsessions, man. Not just obsessions, but something that... True justice. Double justice. Justice reverse. If you don't mind, I'm gonna zoom out. And go back to something where I'm touching more so on the first story. Today, maybe a good day or time to see it's so weird. That's the weird thing. That's the weird thing. There's like a weird fourth story about sticking around something. But it's not the way it... Oh, man. It's like, yes, let go, but I think at the same time, not about pushing yourself, which is like point zero. Like story zero, which is the beginning kind of musings of what people say about letting go and how you are letting go, but da-da-da-da-da, and it goes through phases of letting go. Because the thing is, justice is about truth. And this feels like a delay. This seems delay-y. Not... It... There's something you need to let go. Don't we all? It could be a relationship to a person, maybe a place, a thing, a dream, a way that you think things should be, something that you may have been obsessing over, something that you may have been trying to study too much of, or something like that. I think oh, codependency is saying like a lot of things. There's one that says, yes, okay. The overall sort of blanket umbrella statement that I'm getting is, yes, you are letting go, and do so. But then don't force yourself, don't push yourself necessarily. It's more like, yes, let go, and also move through the motions of what you're moving through. Because if you are holding on to the situation still, if you are moving through it, if you are releasing it, letting go, if you are moving through that phase and moving away from something, kudos, great job, good, on the right track. But if you do also find yourself holding on a little bit more, sorry, I get that. But if you do find yourself holding on a little bit more, it's because you're not entirely ready to let go anyway. And that's okay. Just don't fall back into that. Like, don't, try not to loop back into that. Because while some people can cut themselves from, addictions, smoking, drinking, heroin, whatever, their vices, cold turkey, even from a person, experience, or whatever. Like, while some people can cut themselves cold turkey, other ways to remove oneself from an addiction or an obsession of sorts is to wean. Because for some, if they cut themselves cold turkey, that leads to death. Like, literally, because your body kind of needs that thing now. So weaning is the best. Sorry, I hope you didn't hear that. My ear is like acting up right now. I'm gonna pull out the big guns. Just 1 second. Apparently, when the right inner ear is itching, it means, according to Googs, it means my left ear. It means either someone you love is talking about you, or whoever is talking about you is saying nice things. So, oh no, shit. How does that relate to this reading? Does someone entice you with something today? Oh. Thanks. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Delays. Appreciate you. Delays and divine timing. So, going back to the original sort of musing, if you are someone who's finding yourself in the process of letting go of something that used to be an obsession, something that used to be of heavy interest to you, something that used to be, even if it's still something that's still prevalent and you're finding yourself just not feeling it as much as you used to, or it not tickling your fancy in the way that it used to, yeah, like, that's where you're at. If you're still sort of finding yourself feeling attached to it, or finding yourself wanting to be included in that, okay, sure, but then I suppose if you're someone who wants to let go of that part of you, or that entirely, completely, that part entirely, to have it completely severed from you and your energy, it may take time, and allow it to, allow it to take time. Yeah. Allow it to take time, because justice isn't, not to say justice isn't ready to be served, it's just, it's not, your heart isn't light enough, I guess. The sword isn't ready to cut that out. Sorry, I just heard myself talk. Yeah, it's not, I guess it's not time yet. I'm as surprised as you are. Not to say it's not time yet for you to let go, as in you hold on, no, because there seems to be a bit of a danger for that, for you to sort of slip back into the thing that you were letting go, whether it be a habit, a person, a place, a thing, a type of behavior, which is a habit. That's not to say that do slide back into that. No, it's to say, I suppose, just affirming, continue on that path, continue weaning, and allow yourself to continue weaning. Allow yourself to move through the weaning. Yeah. Allow yourself to move through the weaning, and it may not be comfortable, right? Yeah. It may not be comfortable. Other things may come along to kind of help you move through, like almost like distractions. It's just, that doesn't mean, sometimes a distraction can turn into another obsession, you know? Or you just transfer the former obsession onto this new skin. That former energy into that new skin. So just be careful of that. You can enjoy and, I don't want to say indulge anymore. You can enjoy, but at the same time just be wary of what you're substituting for what you're leaving behind, if that makes sense. How that relates is jumping from one relationship to another, wanting to wean yourself off of someone and hoping and praying for someone else to come along so you can put your attentions on them. Well, then you're just sometimes transferring the energy of obsession from person A to person B, right? So, or even if you move countries to find a new job, because at the old job, this, that, and the other were happening, or you were feeling this, that, and the other, who's to say that when you do find a new job that energy won't follow you there, you know? So if that's something that may be resonating, if that's something that you may be worried about, it's, yeah, it's valid for you to worry about that. I wouldn't say let that stop you. I would just say keep that in the front of your mind, frontal lobe, in the front of your mind, but at the same time, do what you can to continue releasing, letting go of that energy in a way that's gentle to you, okay, in a way that is trusting that it will be let go. You won't be in that space forever, because thank you. You won't be in that space forever, knowing that you are going towards a severing, in the best way possible. Severing, I mean, Severus Snape, girl, this is not the time. But yeah, severing is not really the most beautiful of words, but you want it to be a clean cut, not. I think, yeah, that's the desired sort of as gentle of a letting go, so it doesn't sort of leave too much of a mark. Whew, man, we got there. Fuck my life. So, Jesus. I said a lot. If you are someone who's relating yourself to letting go of something, letting go of a desire, letting go and surrendering, yeah? Letting go of what used to be, letting go of a concept, letting go of all that. It doesn't mean being complacent and saying whatever. No, that's not, this is, being a couch potato. That's not it. It's letting go of sort of, I don't know, I suppose the expectation, letting go of, oh girl, why? Of the need for it to be the way you want it to be, when you wanted it to be, and all this, that, and the other. If you're someone who identifies as in that situation, you are moving towards something, a letting go, right? A severance. It's just, it's gonna take time. If you find yourself sliding back every so often into that behavior, be gentle with yourself. Don't crucify yourself. But also don't overindulge in that either. Today. Okay. Well, okay, honey. I wish you everything. To my queens and a few kings. I'm stretching. Excuse me.